Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we're going out here and we're gonna have some fun. I got the new Stevens 334 set up in the sight vise. We're going to bore sight it on the target about 50 yards away, and then we'll switch it out. And I'm gonna try to fire off a few shots. It's getting dark. It's late in the evening, so we'll try to get some shots fired on this gun before it gets dark. All right, thank you for watching. Alrighty, so we got the Stevens set up in the vise. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolt out, look down through the barrel at that target. I don't know if you can see it. And once we get the bore on the target in the center the best we can, we move our scope to that point. All right, let's get started. This seat's a little low. Alright, so I need to come up a lot. Old Rooster's having a fit out there. Now you want to just look down the bore as center as you can. I'm actually really close. Looks like I'm about 2 inches to the left. Huh. Well, it's pretty close. I'm not even gonna move it. I'm just about that far to the left of the bullseye while looking through the scope. So I'm gonna switch these rests out and get my shooting rest, and we'll fire one off and see where it goes. Alrighty, so I got the gun rest set up. We're going to be using some of this PMC bronze full metal jackets. It's just a paper round to try to get it on paper. And we'll single load it. I'm not going to load the magazine yet. I just want to see how it shoots, and then we'll worry about how it feeds. I'm just going to hold dead center on the bullseye and see where it hits. If it hits relatively close, I might just go ahead and do a 3-shot group, see how it groups before you even worry about dialing it in. All right, safety first. Get your ears on. That bolt is really stiff. I think it's where it's new. It ain't broke in yet, but it's getting it to close is really stiff. It's like it wants to cam over on the lug or something, and it ain't quite broke in yet. Hopefully, we'll get some shots through it. It'll break it in. So it looks like we hit to the right. All right, so that's pretty close. So we're gonna go in the top right hand corner and try to get a group out of it. It's still shooting a little bit to the right that I can't tell. It looks like it's coming over. It's just about a half inch to the right. So we'll try a 3-shot group in that top right hand corner. All right, so I can tell in the scope it's a really good group. Let me get the paper down and we'll take a look at it inside. Alrighty, so I'm back inside where it's warm. It's starting to get a little dark and it's getting cold outside. So I moved everything back in so we can check his target out. And so I've looked at it. I haven't measured it yet, but I have looked at it and I'm pretty impressed. Let me start off by saying this was only at 50 yards. So, you know, anything at 50 is going to double at 100. So if it's a half-inch group at 50, it's going to be 1 inch at 100. But also, this is not the steadiest setup ever. I'm using a Caldwell front rest, which is not very steady. If you've ever used one, they kind of move like this. They're not rock solid like a vise or a lead sled, but they are good enough for what I do. When I try to get a group, I try to get a group with me as a variable, if that makes sense. I don't like to put a gun in a lead sled and then just touch off the trigger. I like to see how accurate not only that gun is, but how accurate I am as well. So I did not have a sandbag, as you can see in the video. I just got a sweatshirt that was rolled up that I put underneath my elbow, and it really doesn't rest the gun at all. And then I use that front rest. So this group is kind of illustrating not only the gun, but me as a shooter as well. And that's not to brag about. I just like to see what the true potential of the gun is with me shooting it. That's kind of my idea around it. So I will start off by saying I'm going to have to readjust that scope. It's way too far forward. I was having to lean into it way too much. You can probably see in the video I had to readjust a couple times. So let's start with the positive first. The gun shoots really well. The trigger's not as bad as it's not bad at all. It's very crisp, very clean. It does have some take up, like I mentioned before, but it breaks pretty crisp. It doesn't have a ton of sponge to it once you hit that wall. I love the barrel, that heavy barrel. I shot 7 rounds and it didn't even remotely get warm. Like, you could put your hand on it. I mean, it was warm, but it wasn't too hot to shoot. I'd say, I mean, it was 7 pretty much consecutive rounds and it didn't get too hot to fire, which is really nice, which is why I like heavy barrels. But the gun itself done a really good job. I feel like I only shot 1 3-shot group, and I feel like I done my job. And so what's on the paper is the rifle's potential. Probably get a little bit more out of it with better ammo, like I'm shooting full metal jacket. With some hand loads and some more practice, I could probably get a little bit better. But this was just a first shot, first time out. I just want to see what the gun would do. So let's take a look at the target. All right, so these was my first 4 shots. That was my first shot. I moved it over 8 clicks. That was my second shot. I moved it over 18 more, and I moved it up 8. That was my third shot here, and pulled on this one. I actually moved it over, I think, 6 more clicks, and I felt myself pull. I hit up here, and I knew that I yanked the shot, so I did not move the scope. That was the last shot that I made when I said I didn't know that I was going to go ahead and shoot a group because I wasn't sure. But I felt myself pull, so I know that was me. So the scope is most definitely tracking. I mean, 8 clicks, 16. Those 2 doubled, and then I moved it 4 over, and obviously from this group here, you can see that the group did move over from this. There's about 1.5 inches to the right. And then right here, I'm about 1/4 inch to the right. So I still got some dialing in to do some fine tuning. But let's take a look at this group. This is a 3-shot group at 50 yards. And to me, that's an outstanding group for not being on sandbags, not being on a vise. So these were the first 2 shots, and this is the third one, and I 100% feel like I yanked that one out. because I got excited when I seen these two, and I was kind of hyped myself up, and I'm pretty sure I pulled a little bit on this one. But let's get a measurement on it and see where we're at. We're going to do center to center. That's the best way to do this. So that's the center of that one. I feel like it's probably about the center of that one. We're at a 650. So that would be a about 1.3 inch group at 100 yards. So that's not too shabby for it not being rested. And the first time I ever shot this gun, I'll take an 1.5 inch group all day long out of a $400 gun. That's just me. But that's using, you know, PMC ammo. I think this was $17 a box. I bought 2 boxes of it just to have some reloadable brass. But so I don't know, I'm pretty impressed with that. Take one more look at the gun. Like I said, that barrel did not get warm at all. While I was filming it, the bolt is really stiff. And it's not so much stiff working it, it's closing it. And you can see in the first and second, and maybe even the third round, I even had a really hard time getting it to close. I had to work it back and forth. It felt like to me on the last 3 shots, it started smoothing out. Let's take a look at it real quick. All right, so we're gonna put it on safe. Not that safe. And so working it in and out, it's fairly smooth. It's a little bit zippy, a little bit gritty. But the problem I have is right here. You kind of got to push forward and down at the same time. So you're pushing, like you can't just close the bolt. It won't go straight down. So you kind of got to push it forward and down at the same time. And it feels to me like it's smoothing up already, or maybe I'm just getting used to it. But out in the field when I was trying to shoot it, I got it to this point right here and was just trying to tug straight down on it, and it wouldn't close. You kind of got to push it forward and down. It actually kind of reminds me of a small ring Mauser, the cock on closed Mausers. You kind of got to push them forward. That's kind of what it reminds me of, which you would think I'd be used to that by now. But yeah, it's starting to smooth up now. It's closing. We might have to work on smoothing that out some. I'll see what I can see as far as smoothing it out. But no, I'm really impressed with this. That's a pretty good group. So we're going to say it's a 0.65 at 50 yards. So that would be a 1.3 at 100. If I'm doing my math right in my head. If I'm not, y'all correct me in the comments. All right, appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. More to come. We still got a lot more coming up. I got a lot of content I'm making right now that I'm actually processing, editing, and all that good stuff. And if you're here to see my car stuff, I got some stuff coming up on the Dart real soon. And if you're here to watch gun stuff, I got plenty of that coming up too. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. I love reading the comments and commenting back and socializing with all of you. So keep them coming. I appreciate you. See you next time. If you made it this far, thank you for watching all the way through. I just realized that I never fed out of the magazine. I single loaded every single one of those. So we never even tried to feed it through the magazine. It didn't even dawn on me till just now. So we'll do that in a different video. If you come here to watch this video to see that, I'm sorry. Just stay tuned and I'll get back to you on that one. All right, see you next time.